Hi guys, my name is Makayla.
My name is Minda, and we're in the Tuesday lab for PED 415.
So before meeting our mentee, we decided to research a little bit about autism and the way it affects people, especially children. We found that 1 in 68 children have been identified with autism spectrum disorder, and it's actually 4 times more likely in boys, according to a study published by the Centers for Disease Control in 2016.
Also, we read about the common characteristics that we might encounter throughout the semester with our mentee. And according to the American Psychiatric Association, they referenced traits such as the difficulty staying on task, spontaneous words or actions, and difficulty in a social setting. Okay, so today was the first week that we actually got to work with our mentee. We got assigned to work with Miah. So we met him today and we learned about his likes and dislikes. Mr. Weber provided us with a questionnaire, and it kind of made this whole process of getting to know him a little bit easier. We found out that while Miah loves using the kickboard to swim laps up and down the pool, he does not like freestyle, and he is not a fan of the kickboard.
He also told us how much he loves carrots, apples, ice cream, and cookies. His favorite thing to do is play video games, especially Monsters Inc. and The Incredibles. He also loves to play with his friends Scranton and Matthew, and he's very, very good at telling time.
Okay, so this is the second week that we were able to work with Miah. Today we were able to gain a little more knowledge of what he can and can't do and what he needs to work on most. We noticed that according to the Red Cross swimming levels that he stands at level 1, which is considered the water exploration level.
So the reasons we came to this conclusion is due to the fact that he does not feel comfortable submerging his entire face, and he cannot float on his front or back side with or without a flotation device. On the other hand, he's very familiar with where all the proper equipment is outside of the pool, and he listens very well when we instruct him to do a warm-up inside or outside the pool. Today is the third week working with our mentees, and Miah was actually absent today, so me and Minda had to work with other students and mentors, but it gave us the opportunity to gain more knowledge and ideas when trying to improve Miah's swimming capabilities. I personally worked with Caitlin and Miah, who is a lot different when it comes to what she's capable of doing. She was able to complete every task asked of her, including floating without an assisted device and swimming laps using several different techniques. She even jumped off the diving board on her own during free time.
And I personally got to work with Becca and her mentor, Courtney. It was definitely a different experience working with her than Miah. Becca had a hard time staying on task and keeping focus. She constantly was talking to herself, and she had a hard time listening to instruction, but once we were able to get her to listen and participate in the swimming, she was actually really great in the pool. She didn't need a flotation device around her waist, but she did prefer to use noodles when performing the different strokes when doing her laps, and she could kick really fast while using the kickboard. So this was the fourth week that we were able to work with Miah. Today, Makayla and I were able to use our own visual schedule that we had developed for Miah, and to motivate him, we included pictures of his favorite TV characters within the schedule so that he could follow along and identify where we were on the schedule. So we primarily focused on trying at least one new task each week. Today specifically, we were able to get him to complete all the warm-ups that we asked him to do while also participating and counting his own repetitions.
He was very uncomfortable, on the other hand, trying the new task, which was floating on his belly, even after we gave him several alternatives. At the end of the class, we actually approached the teacher and asked for advice, and she advised us not to give him options, but rather just tell him exactly what needed to be done. She also told us that she would watch over the next class period and ensure that he is completing what we ask of him. So this is the fifth week working with Miah, and this week the teacher watched over us and spoke to him about what his goals were going to be. We used our lesson plan from the previous week, and he finally attempted new activities. He got closer to floating in the center of the pool and also tried to float more on his belly with the use of a noodle and a kickboard.
So we read in the Flexercise article given to us by Mr. Weber that providing a reward was an effective teaching strategy. And although Miah wasn't completely successful with what he tried, we did reward him with his choice of an activity in the pool just for being brave enough to try. So he also made a bet with his teacher that if he tried everything that Makayla and I asked him to do, that she would have to get in the pool the following week. So since he actually did attempt to try all the tasks that we asked, she will be joining us in the pool next week. So this was the 6th week that we were able to work with Miah. Today we utilized our individualized action plan that we developed for him. We created a 10-step progression to work towards Miah's short-term goal of becoming comfortable enough to swim in the middle of the lane. After completing all the dynamic warm-ups inside and outside of the pool, the teacher did join us this week in the pool. And after asking Miah to complete several of the new tasks that we wanted him to perform, he got a little overwhelmed. So we decided to give him a little break and just, kind of calm down. And after the teacher spoke with him, we could tell a huge difference in his confidence levels and the desire to try new things.
So after his talk with his teacher, he was able to tread water for 10 seconds while hanging on to me, and that was a huge improvement for him. He was also able to use a kickboard under his belly to give him more stability and be able to float upright, and that was a huge step towards our short-term goal that we had set for him. The teacher also agreed to jump off the diving board, and Miah actually cheered from the middle of the lane all by himself. He accomplished a lot today and was rewarded with his choice of activity for free time. So it's the 7th week with Miah, and once again he did awesome today, and he was able to accomplish treading water for 30 seconds this time. He was actually in the deep end, which he has often struggled with a lot this semester since he can't really touch the bottom.
So Miah had told us in the beginning of class that he wasn't going to participate in anything new this week since we had done so much the previous week, but he actually surprised us by completing new tasks like treading water for 30 seconds in the deep end without us even asking. So that was great, and he also swam with his kickboard and noodle and with his belly up, which was great because we've been working on that as well. And to end today's class, he also walked through a hula hoop that Mr. Weber held up for him. And it was great.
So it's been 3 weeks since meeting with Miah because of Easter and our spring breaks. Today he was not very motivated to try new tasks that we asked, like treading in the center of the lane. We were going to try to do longer than we had last time, and he didn't want to do that. But after giving him many options, he just continuously chose the activities he completed before, like using the pool noodles and the kickboard.
We thought that maybe because of the long break that we had, that could have affected his swimming and hesitation to try the things that we had tried before. We also thought that maybe we had to change lanes this week and we weren't in his normal lane that he's used to, so maybe that change in scenery made him a little more uncomfortable and hesitant to try the new things as well.